This morning I took the walnut top and just temporarily set it on the base to give us the real first look at what the table is going to look like other than the prototype. The proportions seem to be good. The top has remained nice and flat, so that made me happy. And the next step will be to work on the pull-out tray for working on jigsaw puzzles. But overall, it's coming along nicely. It looks fairly simple, but as you've seen over the course of the videos, it takes a while to construct it. I pulled the pull-out tray out of the prototype table to show you how it's going to be constructed. The front is going to be 13/16 thick, and so will the back. They will both have dados in them to receive the 9-ply Baltic birch plywood work surface. That's going to enable it to be very stable and not rack or twist in humidity changes. There will be 2 side rails that will allow a good place to mount the slides, and probably 1 center stringer just for some additional stability. Currently I've got it designed so the joinery is pocket screws so that it can be disassembled, which will allow me to finish these parts black and keep the plywood top the light color, which will make it easier to see puzzle pieces. I'm going to utilize one of the leftover pieces from the rail material for the front portion of the pull-out drawer. It'll give the same type of grain, nice straight piece. So I'll take and rip a 1/2 inch off of it for thickness on the table saw and then put it through the planer along with the back piece and end up with 13/16. After I rip that 1/2 inch off the piece, there's bound to be a little bit of tension release, so I will run it across the joiner to assure I have a flat surface along with the other pieces. When I feed boards through the planer, I try to take into account that sometimes there's what they call snipe, or just a little deeper cut at the start of the board and at the end of the board. So I'll use this scrap piece to go in first, then butt up the next 2, and the end of this board can be sniped also, so not a big deal. With the first pass through the joiner, we're now at 7/8 of an inch. So now I'm going to adjust it another 1/16 of an inch. As a comparison, checking the thickness with a ruler gets you pretty close, but the degree of accuracy with a dial caliper is just hard to beat. I've taken the boards and run one edge across the joiner to be sure I've got a straight, square edge to the flat surface. And I always label them with an S just to make life easier. Now I've set the rip fence on the table saw to 3 3/16, and I'll rip those pieces through. Now that I have the pieces for the front and back of the pull-out tray milled to width and thickness, I will put a groove or a dado in them like this to fit the plywood work surface. And getting the fit of that dado to the plywood is very critical to make it stable and not loose. So I'll set up in the table saw with a dado blade to cut those dados. This is the type of fit I'm aiming for. I'm going to set up the table saw with the stacked dado head cutter to mill the groove or dado in the front and back. It's a series of saw blades, one on each side, and then the right amount of chippers to make the width that you need. I'm going to start by putting this saw blade on first, which is an 1/8 inch, another chipper that's an 1/8 inch, and a chipper that's 3/32. This is really designed for plywood because it's undersized and not truly in full 1/8 inch increments. Now I've set the fence to be 5/8 of an inch away from the dado blade, and now I have to dial in the depth of cut, which will be 5/16 of an inch. Now that all the machine setup is done, now I can go ahead and cut the dados. It actually takes longer to set up the machine than actually cut the dados.
Because the metal slide is over 2 inches tall and the table side rails are relatively short at only 3 5/16, when I put this in, and here's the pull-out tray, I'm going to have to mill a rabbet in the work surface in order to provide clearance for the metal slide. So as the drawer moves in and out, or the pull-out moves in and out, it's not going to rub on the metal slide that's attached to the table base.
Now I've got the front and rear pieces fitted to the work surface after cutting the dados. So the next step will be to make 2 side pieces that the slides will be able to attach to. And I'm going to utilize this wood that's left over that I made as spares, and I will rip it to width about 2 inches to meet this dimension. And I also have this piece here which I will rip at the same time for a stringer. I've got the side pieces now cut to the right length, and I figured out the exact width that I need, or length of the stringers, to set the side pieces at the right distance. Now I've marked it out so that I can cut the pocket screw joinery. Pocket screw joinery is always pretty fast as long as you get it set up correctly. There's a stop collar on the bit that has to be set for the right length for what size stock you're using. I'm going to set this one to 3/4. Even though this is a little wider than that, I want to make sure that the screws don't penetrate the front of the pullout or the rear, so I'm making sure that that's set up. I'm going to be using these 2 holes, which is roughly 7/8 of an inch center to center. I've got the pull-out tray all laid up, centered on the plywood and clamped together. With pocket screws, just by the nature of the screw going in at an angle, when you put it together, it tends to want to move the joint a little bit, so it's good to really clamp it in place before you start to use the screws. It's also important to select the right screw. There's different screws based on whether it's hardwood or softwood. The softwood has a coarser thread, the hardwood has a finer thread. Here's a close-up view of the 2 screws. Now I need to cut out a notch out of the back piece to give room for the metal slide. Sometimes this is just easier done with hand tools. I'm going to use a Japanese style pull saw, which has a very fine kerf and can be easy to control. The front and back create a 5/8 inch lip to keep the puzzle pieces on the work surface. I'm also taking some time to cut a few 1/2 by 5/8 strips, and I'll mount them right on the edge to keep the puzzle pieces from falling off the edge. They'll be mounted in there with 3 screws so they can be removed for finishing. I've used the cordless router with an 1/8 inch roundover bit to ease all the corners on the bottom side. I've left the edge where the slides will be straight, so I have something good to measure by. I can round it over later after the slide holes are made. I put the table base on my hydraulic lift table and raised it up to a comfortable height because the next process is mounting the full extension metal slides. And getting them mounted correctly will make sure that the pull-out tray works smoothly. I'm going to space the metal slide up from the base of the table about 1/16 of an inch, and it's going to be set back from the front. You have the thickness of the pull-out tray, and then there will be an 1/8 inch, and that's the location front to back. The mounting holes do have slots in them, so it's best to drill a hole in the center of the slot and allow for adjustment. The inner piece will be able to adjust up and down, and the outer piece should be able to adjust back and forth, and you should be able to accomplish any adjustment you need. I'm going to use a VIX bit or a self-centering drill bit to drill the pilot hole for the screw. Close-up view of the slots. As you can see, there's horizontal slots in the outside piece, and on the inner slide there is vertical slots that can be used. The self-aligning VIX bit has a small pilot drill and a spring-loaded sleeve that allows it to center up and drill the hole in the center. Because I have a nice flat work surface, I put the pull-out tray on the flat work surface, and then I'm going to mount the inner one with the outside mounted so I can shim it up 1/16 of an inch to locate it. Rather than measure it and getting it off a little bit, it's easy enough to put it up on those shims. I'll space this back 1/8 inch. Close-up view of doing the second one. You can see how that hole is right in the center of the slot, which will allow us adjustment both up and down. I'm now going to mount the outside of the metal slide to the table base using, again, 2 1/16 inch shims to hold that metal slide up. I've clamped on a piece that's equivalent to the thickness of the front pullout, and I'll space it back 1/8 of an inch. So I've raised the table base up, and I've just used this rolling cart to help me bring the tray in here and line up with the slide since it's so large. And now I can push it in. I've got the table base down now on the shop floor. I've set a piece of the top, and now you can really start to see how the puzzle pull-out tray is going to work. You're going to be able to pull it out and work on it, and these full extension metal slides make it very stable. When the full weight of the top is in there, the base will have a little bit more mass and make that a little more stable, but overall works really nice, should be good. I've got lips on here so the puzzle pieces can't get off.